Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Welcome to another Stampin' Up card making day here in Simcoe, Ontario, where I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you live in Canada and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. So the card we're going to make today uses this lovely set out of the mini catalogue, the September to December mini catalogue. It's on page 35. It's called Wishes All Around, and the bundle is $73.75. And in the bundle you get the beautiful Wishes All Around stamp set, lovely wreath there of Christmas trees and some sayings and some snowflakes and what have you. And then you get the dies as well. The dies, you get 3 different wreaths that you can cut out and use. You got snowflakes, you got some boughs, you got some Christmas trees. So this is the set we're going to make today. Now these wreaths are really nice, and you can layer them, you can stack them one on top of the other, and that's what we're going to do today. I had an afternoon where I sat and cut out some wreaths. And I've used balmy blue cardstock, basic white and silver foil. Let me just show you this. I should have another sheet somewhere. Here it is. This wreath here is the Christmas trees. Now really I should have stamped the Christmas trees first and then cut them out, because that's the wreath that does that, and it works really well. Gives you like a wreath of Christmas trees. I should have done that first, but I didn't. But these pieces I'm going to keep because I can use again. You know, I'm not worried about it. So that was one wreath. The other wreath, the branches, there it is there. And we have the snowflakes there and in foil. Now we're going to make a quick card today using a couple of these wreaths. I'm going to use the silver foil and the blue branches. Okay, these pieces I'm going to save for another card, so I'll just put them out of the way. Now because you cut out wreaths, you've also got centers that came out of them. This is the center out of the branches wreath. This is out of the Christmas trees. This is out of the snowflakes. Okay, so there you've got your 3 different centers. You can stamp a sentiment on any of those and use them on cards. They could, you know, I've got them in colors as well, in the blue, the balmy blue, and the silver foil. Today I'm going to use this one, which is the one that came out of the center of the wreath, and you'll see why when we get a little further along. So to make the card, we've got the 2 wreaths that we cut out. We've used the snowflake embossing folder, and I've embossed a piece of basic white. This is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, and that's just going to give me, it's going to be the full height of the card, but it's going to give me a little border on each side. Okay, so we've used the snowflake embossing folder for that. We're going to use the center out of that wreath. We've got these 2 wreaths here which we're going to layer. One is the blue branches wreath and the silver snowflakes. I've got a piece of ribbon, and this ribbon is balmy blue ribbon, which matches the card. It's actually from the Polar Bear suite, and it's a heavy, not a heavier ribbon, but a thicker ribbon. It's a velvet ribbon and it's got sparkles in. And I've got a little piece of that, and I'm just going to use that to hang the wreath on the front of the card. So I need to do some stamping first of all. I don't need this, my foam mat. I just used that to show you, so that the pieces we cut out would stand out a little better. Okay, so I've got some balmy blue ink here, and I got a couple of sentiments, and I'm going to use this piece out of the center. Now I've got to make sure I've got it lying the right way. Is that going to work? Let me see. Yes. So we're going to put this down, and we've got a sentiment for the front of the card. Let me get that right. This is for the front of the card. It says "Make It Merry," and we're going to stamp that in balmy blue, and I'm just going to stamp that right in the center of the cutout from one of the wreaths. I've got a piece of basic white, which should be 5 1/4 by 4. I haven't cut it down, but it should be 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to stamp for the inside of the card. And this one says, "May the love of friends and family surround you this Christmas." I'm just going to stamp that in the center. We'll trim that down when we're ready. Right. So that's there. So that's all the stamping we need to do. Now I will show you. I will show you something. I did cut this wreath out, and it didn't cut out all the way. I'm not going to throw that snowflake wreath away because I can use it on a card, and if I situate it carefully, I can put a bow on the bottom and it will hide the parts that didn't cut out nicely. So I will keep that as well. So we're going to put this card together. So we have balmy blue 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, basic white, which we ran through the snowflake folder there, and that is 5 1/2 by 3 3/4. Right, got to do this in the right order. Let me put that away. Okay, I need dimensionals. There's a sheet of dimensionals. Okay, so we've got these two wreaths and we have this piece of white. We're going to take the ribbon and we're actually going to glue this right to the center of this piece of card. But we need to know where to glue it, so we need to put the blue wreath down for just a second. Down, like just lay it on the card, I mean, because I don't want this piece showing there, you see. So I'm going to trim that. Well, actually I don't need to trim it, I'll just pull it up so that that's going to be hidden like that. Alright, I need my adhesive mat. I need some Stampin' Seal Plus for this because I don't want this to come off the card. And I'm just going to put a strip of adhesive, whoops, all the way down the ribbon. We're just going to see where the wreath's going to sit and where the ribbon's going to sit. Yes. Think about there. Hold that piece over the back. There. So when we put the wreath down, it will sit just about here, and you really won't see any of the ribbon in the background. Okay, so this piece here, this white mat, is going to go on dimensionals and it's going to go on the front of the card. But I think first we're going to build the wreath because I want you to see how we're going to build it. This piece that we cut out of the center of the white was the one, this piece here, but we cut it out of white cardstock and I saved the center. This wreath is going to line up. I'm going to find, see here on the piece I've cut out, I've got two berries, if you will, two circles. I'm going to put this piece in there like that and manipulate this so that it all fits and it lies down nicely. Okay, so it's going to take a bit of work. So I'm going to put this down on the front of the card first. Now I'm going to put that about there so that I've got room for my wreath to sit nicely around it. Okay, so this ribbon is about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches that you can see, and I'm going to line this white circular piece up at the bottom of there. So let's get some we've got Stampin' Seal Plus here because this piece is embossed and you don't get a flat surface, so you need to make sure you've got enough room or enough adhesive to hold this piece down in place. Now we're going to use liquid adhesive, I think, to glue the wreaths down. I'm going to put the blue wreath down first, and I'm just going to put little dabs in here on the card, little dabs of liquid adhesive. Yes, yes. And I'm just putting like a little dab of adhesive in all the spaces going around, just so that I know I've got something to hold the big piece in place. Okay, then we're going to take this. There really aren't any thicker parts, but I think we'll find a few places and just put some dabs of adhesive down. And it doesn't matter if every piece is held down. It's a wreath, it's going to be uneven, you know. There, now this is the tricky part. Okay, I have to find a spot. There are my 2 berries, I'm calling them. Let's see, is it those 2 berries? Yes. Put that in there, and I'm just going to work my way around, pressing it down as I go. It might be better if I used my pokey tool, and then, oops, that's not a pokey tool, and then I won't get the adhesive all over my fingers. I've got to get this in the spots first, and then I can lay the outside down and press the outside. But I have to get this piece into the spaces. There. Now we'll go around, give it a good press, and it's okay that there's a little bit of adhesive showing. We're okay with that. We're going to put another wreath on top of it. There. I'm just going to turn that over and give it a bit of a press. And I hope I haven't moved any parts out of the circle, and I don't think I have. There. So you can also use this technique with if you had a die that had flowers, where you cut the centers out of the flowers, you know, you could cut it out in 2 parts and lay the die down, and then take the flowers from one color and lay them into the spots on the other one. So here we're going to use the silver snowflake wreath, and that's just going to lie on top of this like that. Okay, so we got to find a few spots on here to put adhesive, and I'm thinking it's going to be sort of the centers of the snowflakes. If I turn it over that way, maybe you can see. Let me move this for just a minute. Turn that over. We're going to do the centers of the snowflakes. I'm just going to put a dab of adhesive in the center of them all. Just like that. Okay. Hopefully that is going to be enough to hold this. There we go. Okay. Let's just find a nice way to put this. I don't think there's a right and a wrong way, but I think I would like a snowflake pointing right up onto the ribbon. Like that. There. So there's basically the front of the card. It's not a very good picture, but there it is. There it is. So now we're going to turn this over. We're going to put this piece on dimensionals. And that will level the card as well, because you see we've got the thickness of the ribbon to worry about in there as well. I better have a couple of dimensionals in the centre. I'll put one there. And then we've got this card really well supported for when it goes on the front of the card itself. This goes right on the front of the card. Make sure the card's the right way up. Now it's got to go right to the top of the card and about 1/4 inch from each side. There. And you see the dimensionals either side here balance out the back of the card where the ribbon is sitting. So there it is. And we've got a stamped piece for the inside. Oops, looks like we've got a dimensional back there. We do. There. So there's a lovely Christmas card. Really pretty wreath. So there's the card we've just made today. That's it. It's my own design. If you want to copy and share, please do so. And if you sell your cards, please use the Stampin' Up Angel stamp, which just has all the supplies used for Stampin' Up supplies. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye.